Okay, so this is gonna sound like another rambling because it is. After I had posted my little rambling about Lorne's possible kinks, the comments really helped me to realize that there might be other links to explore in a little bit more depth. So, as I had said in my previous video, that I do think that Lorne has humiliation kink. There's a bunch of evidence that I think that points in that direction as well, and parts of his personality make that a really plausible thing. Lorne, contrary to what the persona he tries to put off, is actually not really dominant, and that's okay, but Lorne obviously doesn't think it is. He goes above and beyond to try to assert himself. His rages that he has with his catfish when they do some minor infraction doesn't really make a whole lot of sense in a normal, well-adjusted person who is comfortable with their self wouldn't react the way that he does to, like I said, small infractions. And I think Lorne does this because he knows that he's not really a dominant person. He's soft, and that's okay. But he, for whatever reason, doesn't believe that's the case. And so this adds to the fact that he does have a humiliation kink, because the way that, Tiffany asserts herself, and even Winnie asserts herself, and Lorne just lies down and takes it, instead of one, not talking to them if they're being so disrespectful, or two, just having the whole relationship be kaput in just the whole relationship in the trash. He doesn't do either of these things, one, out of desperation, but two, he gets a kick out of it. I think he gets a thrill out of being humiliated, because that is a part of that's ingrained in his personality. Once again, things with his catfish, Amanda James, like buying her Dale Earnhardt Jr. stuff in order to get some type of approval out of her, and he brings that up every 57 seconds. Like that's something that is an L that I would take to my grave, but he brings it up all the time. Like, why would you want to keep reliving the fact that you were dumb enough to believe this woman whom you've never met, and then giving her gifts that you couldn't even afford to give in the first place? Like I said, I think Lorne really likes to be humiliated, and that's okay if that's your kink. Do what you gotta do. But the fact that he tries so hard to present as someone who's like dominant and quote unquote alpha, the rages he gets into, like, it just, all of it is not, those things don't go together, and any normal person would be able to see, right through that. But Lorne thinks that he's normal. He is not. I think also the fact that he is, a more submissive personality lends to the fact of how, not lends to the fact of, but like lends to his interactions with Kayla and the other teenage girls, because it was a chance for him to get to feel like an alpha, get to feel like someone giving the orders versus being given the orders. That's why he relished those relationships with these minors that really didn't know any better, had bad home lives, were seeking his approval, because that was a change from his norm. His norm is to just sit down and take disrespect, even if he verbally pushes away being disrespected. He runs back to it. These minors and the real, his real victims and the decoy Kayla, he relished in the fact that he could basically tell them jump and they'd say how high. yeah, like I think he really enjoyed that because it's not something that he got to do on the regular, and that's what endeared him so much to them. Also, I think um, I think Casey Morrow, when he showed up to the Sting house, if you were expecting some, little quiet, shy little girl when you showed up, I think it was confusing to Lorne that Casey was not that way. And I think, there's been theories about his whole mood behind the "well, yell at me, why don't you" line. And some people have said that it was out of, like, he was kind of irritated, and that was his passive aggressive way of displaying that he was irritated for, her basically giving him the orders. But I don't think he was irritated. I don't think he was being passive aggressive in that instance. I think that was like him trying to be cute and like a cutesy little, I don't know, like he accepted that she was running things. He might have been surprised that she was running things, but I think he accepted that she was taking the reins, and running things and making decisions. It was a change from what the decoy's persona was online, but in person, Lorne was gonna roll with it anyway. I mean, that's what he's used to. He's used to somebody, telling him what to do, even if, as strange as it is, even if it's a 13-year-old girl. Like, Lorne was just gonna roll with it. Like, she deviated from the plan in the first place by, not being outside with her little suitcase ready. That was from Weston Salmon's video too. Like, she already deviated from the plan by not just jumping into his truck with him. So that was first. So that was another sign of, like, Kayla taking the reins and not really shutting up and following Lorne's instructions. But yeah, he's used to that. I think he had fun, like I said, with his real minor victims and with the decoy, online, because she essentially didn't say anything. She didn't say anything for or against anything that he was trying to do. So I guess he viewed her as more of like a quiet person versus the grown women catfish that he had been dealing with, or like the grown women that he might have tried to be with in real life, in person, face to face. He liked those minors because they were, a change. But overall, I do think Lorne likes being humiliated. He likes kind of being stepped on. I think he likes it. If he doesn't like it directly, or if it's not like a conscious thing that he likes it, I do think that he is used to it and has no problem with it, even though he tries to feign that he does have a problem with it. So yeah, that was all of my rambling. There might be more, but this was just off the top of my head, rambling and analyzing Lorne's, just the steel trap that is his mind. Thank you for listening. Bye.